Today we are going to discuss the final realization of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. This is a very interesting topic, but as usual, let us start with this mantra. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavi bhililitam kalmashapaham Sravanamangalam Srimadatam Bhuvi Grinanti E Bhurita Janaha. We find that in the Gospel of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, page 572, he's mentioning to the devotees, very close devotees, he's mentioning over here, no one else is here, and you are my own people. This is because as Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna is telling, the people don't understand me as God. Abhojananti mam muda manusim tanuvasritam Param bhavam ajananta mama vyaya. Like this I, the God in this human form, but the mudha, deluded minds, cannot understand me. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna was very careful about it. He never disclosed his spirituality and divinity before others and the masses. Only when his people who could understand him properly, he is telling to them, let me tell you something. I have come to the final realization that God is the whole and I am the part of him. I have come to the final realization God is the whole, I am the part of him. That God is the master and I am his servant. Furthermore, I think every now and then that he is I and I am he. So this is, he said, the final realization. Now here, the Abadhuta, we were studying the Bhagavatam in Sundays. We have already come to this particular chapter 1, verse number 72. Here the Abadhuta also said, my firm conviction, firm realization. They conclude in one part. Now Abadhuta said, neither I perform nor I enjoy the past, present and future actions. I never worked. Now, what is the life for? Because the action and its result. Now, Abadhuta is telling, I never performed, I never did anything. And naturally, I am not going to have the result of the action of the past, present and future. Atita, the past, Anagatam, future, Karma Vartamanam, and the present work, Tathaivacha, Nakaromi. I never did. I have not done it, not doing it, and will not do it. Na Bhunjami. I will not enjoy also. Iti me Nischala Matihi. This is my firm conviction. Iti me Nischala Mati. The firm conviction he is telling about the Advaita Vedanta. And the Vedanta, it always says the karma and its result, work and its result. And if you are doing work with desire, then naturally the result will bound you. And for that you have to take again and again the different type of births. So that he is denying while living. The Avadhuta Dattatreya, he said, while living, I didn't do anything in the past. I am not doing anything present. But how he is surviving? How he is living? He is roaming around, he is eating, talking to people. And usually the spiritual people, they used to do like that. He was also doing like that. He gave so many teachings that was recorded, and Avadhuta Gita was the 8th chapter that in the book is there. And he said, I didn't do anything, I am not doing anything, I am not going to do anything in the future too. How can he say that? Well, he is not associated with the work. So in a different way he is telling that I am not associated with the work. Hence, this work, this karma is not binding me. I am completely free. Jivan mukta avastha. Avadhuta avastha. Jivan mukta avastha. Free while living. Now friends, here we need to get some clarity. What is this Jivan Mukta? We are also free. We are not bound by anything. But at the same time, we are bound by our own karma. Suppose I have said something. When I became angry, I shouted, and naturally afterwards I felt, no, I should not have said like that. So that is also the karma and the reaction. Then someone whom I loved is gone away, is not paying proper attention to me. That also the pain I feel. And somewhere I am getting the respect and somewhere not. So all these things are going on. So that is the bondages. We always suffer. It is always there. We cannot go beyond that. That is the life that the Avadhuta lives. No reaction at all. Because not completely detached from that. So no reaction at all. So he is telling, Atita anagatam karma vartamanam tataivacha na karomi na bhunjami iti me nischala matihi. The last Saturday, so we had a wonderful discussion on another great personality, Sri Shankara. He met Lord Shiva in Kashi, but Shiva was in the form of a low-born person. And the conversation that took place. After that conversation, when the question of the Shiva and the form of a low-born person, the Shankara could not reply. So then he started telling to himself, and that became, in the 5 verses, he mentioned that even a low-born, uncultured, uneducated, if realized Brahman can be accepted as Guru. This is my firm conviction. So now we find the difference. Here, the Avadhuta, he is telling, this is my firm conviction. What? That if you are not attached with the action, then you are completely free. This is my firm conviction. And Shankara says, and completely different perspective. He says, anyone from any walks of life, if he has realized Brahman, God, he has every right to become Guru. So we can remember when Swami Vivekananda came to this country and he was not having any credential to represent Hinduism, and he was not knowing, in our country, the sadhus, the monks, wherever they go, the people are accepting them and they are giving the discourses. Here you need the credential that he never knew. And the followers over there in India also couldn't gaze. So they had said. After coming over here, he understood. Then met the professor at Harvard University. And the professor wrote a beautiful letter. There he mentioned, here is a person who has the right to speak about spirituality. And if you are asking him the credential about giving and talking about the spirituality, it would be like asking the sun the credential to shine. Who has given you the permission to shine? It will be like that. So this is the realization of the Professor John Wright. And here Shankaracharya is telling anyone can be guru, because in those times in India the caste system was so strong. So there Shankara, he learned it. He was a Brahmagyan. Even then, in the subconscious mind, the distances were there, differences were there. So that is why this conversation took place. Friends, I will remind you another person, a great spiritual personality again, and he is our Sanjaya. Sanjaya is the Gita fame. In the last verse of the Bhagavad Gita, 700, the Gita sloka, 700 verse. And here also he said, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanuddharaha, Tatra Sri Vijaya Bhuti Dhruvaniti Mati Mama. Whenever is Krishna the Lord of Yoga, Yatra Yogeshwara, Yoga Ishwara, the Lord of the Yoga, Krishna. Yatra Partha Dhanurdhara, that wherever the Partha, the wielder of the bow, that means he is taking action, performing, there are prosperity, Sri, Vijaya, victory, Bhuti, the development, and the sound policy, Dhruva Niti. Sound policy, that is the perfect ideal condition. So this is my Dhruva Niti, this is my firm conviction. Who said? Now Sanjaya. Now why Sanjaya is telling like this? Because he has seen that the Krishna and the Arjuna, this duo, they perform the wonderful things, unthinkable things. Now his conviction is different. So we can understand Shankara, this Sanjaya's conviction and our Avadhuta's conviction different, isn't it? The Sanjaya is telling God's grace is necessary. Wherever the combination of God's blessings and the human effort, surely there will be success. So that is his. And Avadhuta said, if I am not attached to the result of the karma, I am completely free. Not bothered about the God. He is convinced about his own discipline. That I am not going to be attached or hankering for the result of the work that I am performing. So obviously I am free. So here no question of God. That someone will come and help. But Sanjay said, no, this is also necessary. And Shankara's conviction, that is different. What is that? Shankara's conviction is the social condition. In the social condition, higher level and lower level and all those things, educated, uneducated, ethical, unethical, all these things are there. Is it anything it may be? But if the man is a realized soul, he has the capacity to become a guru. That is his conviction. And Sri Ramakrishna's conviction? Before I go to Sri Ramakrishna again, we remember that another person also, that is from the Mahabharata, that is from the Ramayana, and this is our Mahavir Hanumana. He said, and when he was asked, what is your attitude towards Sri Rama? He said, wonderful way. He said, when I feel the body is attached to the body consciousness, then I am the servant of the Rama. I am separate, Sri Rama separate. He is God, I am the servant. When my body, mind, it goes together in that condition that I am his part. Then when I self comes, when I realize the self, the Atma Buddha, then I and Sri Rama are one. It's a revolutionary statement. I and my God, whom I am worshipping, are one. He said, Deho Buddhva Dasoham, Jiva Buddhva Tadam Shakaha, Deha Buddha, when the body is there, then I am his servant. But when I see, no, I am the jiva, I am not this body, I am not this mind, but I am also consciousness, this small separate consciousness, jiva. Then he says, tad amshakaha, atma buddhva. When I realize that Brahman, tamevaham, I am he. So this is exactly what we find in Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna, he is actually the prophet of the incarnation of the unity in diversity. He also expressed the same conviction, but in a different level, where he said, the same way as the Mahavirji is telling, I am his servant. When Dvaita, the dualist idea, dualist and qualified Advaitin and Advaita, they were fighting. And for hundreds of years, the Dvaitin, Vishishta-Advaitin and Advaitin constantly fighting. Sri Ramakrishna came, he combined these three and he said all these three are the same. So here he is telling Dvaita, Vishishta-Advaita, Advaita, the same. So sometimes I feel I am he. Sometimes I feel I am the part of he. Sometimes I feel I am separate from him. So this is the conviction. So when Sri Ramakrishna said that this is my firm convictions, the devotees listen to these words in deep silence. So these are the realizations. Different people at different times, they are realizing, expressing with great confidence. But this realization according to the situation, Sanjaya, then Shankara, then Avadhuta, and the Sri Ramakrishna and Mahavirji. See, all they are having. Rabindranath had a beautiful poem he wrote. He said, no end to it. Because when there is a river, oh, this is only river. No. It becomes frozen, it becomes snow again. Oh, then river gone snow. Again the snow is melting, becoming river, becoming water. So it goes on and on and on. There is no end. So when Sri Ramakrishna is telling, this is my conviction, this is my realization, he is unifying the three different ideologies. Those who are practicing the Advaitin, they look down upon the Dvaitin. Those who are practicing the Dvaita, they never care for the Advaitin. They will always criticize them. And if you read the Bhashyas, Ramanuja Bhashya, Shankara Bhashya, you will find all the time they are quarreling and going on criticizing each other and giving the strong their own ideas and defeating the others. But Sri Ramakrishna said, why not? In different condition, different mentality, all the same, as Mahavirji said. Now he comes to this. One person, he is asking that I feel disturbed if I have a misunderstanding with someone. It's a very practical way he is telling. Spiritual practices, where we do in mind. The mind is the only place where we are practicing spirituality, religion, or whatever. This person is asking, is a Bhavana, he is humbly asking, they said, I feel disturbed if I have a misunderstanding with someone. I feel that in that case, I am not able to love all. So when we start our journey in the spiritual life, it always happens. Then someone who is very close to me, attached to me, doesn't like the religion or the philosophy that I follow or like to follow, so obviously I always feel, oh, this is the differences, okay, let me adjust with him. No, Sri Ramakrishna's answer. Then Sri Ramakrishna, try at the outset to talk to him and establish a friendly relationship with him. If you fail in spite of your efforts, then don't give it another thought. In spite of your effort, if you fail to get the relationship, develop the relationship, then don't give the second thought. Take refuge in God. Meditate on Him. There is no use in giving up God and feeling depressed from thinking about others. Now, there's a beautiful example, excellent example, Mirabai's life. The Mirabai, the young queen, she was humiliated by her own people. The mother-in-law, sister-in-laws and all those people, they were humiliated. And then her husband misunderstood her and asked her to go away. And she was thrown on the street and she was walking and singing, never ever thought about things that had happened in her life. See, these people, they misbehaved with me and I never did anything wrong, but they never, no complaint at all. No complaint, nothing, only constantly singing and constantly meditating on God. The songs were her prayers. Her system was, a style was, or the practices was only singing. And through songs, she used to pour out her prayer, her mind towards God. And when she was going on doing like that, after so many 100 years, now we remember those people who insulted Mirabai because of Mirabai. We never care to know their lives. Her husband, the king, and the mother-in-law and the sister-in-law, we don't care to know. When we read the biography of the Mirabai, because we are interested to know her biography, how she practiced. And what is this austerity? They always say that in spiritual life, austerity is a must. And this is austerity. Sometimes we do not eat. Many of the ladies, they are fond of fasting. And almost 3 days in a week or 4 days in a week, they will be fasting. This is good, saving some food for others. But along with that, they also should think what I am thinking. Am I thinking positive way? Am I criticizing others? Feeling pain because of the misbehavior of the others? Feeling jealousy? These are the things we should observe. Straightway we go and sit for meditation? No, we don't do. Because how you are going to meditate? Through mind. And what is your mind? Completely colored with so many things. Now you have to take that in a washing machine and you have to wash and wash. Then all the color will go, it will become white. And then only you can meditate. So, you know that in India, the brahmacharis, those who are novices in the spiritual life, they always wear white clothes. Now the question is why? Because of this. This color will remind him that I have to make my mind free from all other thoughts. So it has been, say, like that different color we can say. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, as a simile, he is telling color. So red color means Rajaguna, black color, Tamaguna. Many of the aspirants are there, spiritual practitioners are there. They will never take anything black. Not even the pen. If it is a black color, no, we don't take. And then the dress and the other thing, no black color. Why? Tama. So they like to give it up. So this is the way they always remind themselves. Mostly they like this saffron and white. The saffron color is the highest, all symbolism, and it says, always remind you that you are a dedicated one and you are completely free from the bondages of this worldly life. So that is always. Whenever you see, look at this color, or this for this. One of our Swamiji used to make fun. So he was in Golpark Ramakrishna mission. Whenever he'll meet a monk, he'll say, and his way was like funny. He'll say, hey, why you are wearing this type of peculiar color? Your hat and your shirt and your dhoti, all in same color. Why? And he said, no, Maharaj, we are monks. Yet that you should remember that you are a monk. That you should remember that you are a monk. So one of the Swamijis, he was a secretary, one of the secretaries of the 10th president of the Belur, from whom I took the initiation. I was then young and was planning to join this monastic order. And he called me and said, young man, are you planning to become a monk? I told him, yes. What do you do? What do you like this? Then he said, look, you are having everything in this society for what all people are striving. And now you're trying to throw it at your back and come and join in this life. Remember this all the time. The name, fame, money, physical comfort, everything I was having, I threw it at my back. So don't turn back. Don't lick, then a very strong word he used. Don't lick the spit that you already spat. Don't do that. So that strong word still in my mind. I always feel conscious. So this is the way it goes. Sri Ramakrishna is telling friends are good, relatives are good. But when the question coming that shall I put my whole mind and soul at the feet of the God, meditate, try to understand Him, then one after another different type of thoughts are coming because my friend is having suffering, then they'll do. Try to be friendly, okay. But then you say, okay, no problem. Whole mind you give to the God. Never care for anything. Then say, great souls of Bhavanath, he is also the disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, but he won't give up. He is telling, great souls such as Christ and Chaitanya have admonished us to love all beings. So naturally, if I have to love all beings, how can I say that I don't care about? No, I must love. Now you must listen to the answer of Sri Ramakrishna. Love you must. Because God dwells in all beings. Because of that. Love you must. Because God dwells in all beings. What does it mean? I love that particular person because he is related with me. I care for that particular person because he is interested in me, serving me, giving me gifts, and saying hello all the time, taking care of me. I should love him because of this? No, wrong. Because the God dwells in that. So I love. But salute a wicked person from a distance. You speak of Chaitanya, then he is telling, he also used to restrain his spiritual feeling in the presence of the unsympathetic people. He never expressed that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was a devotee and he was a mystic and his expression was different. The people will misunderstand. They will criticize. So he used to restrain this. At Srinivas' house, he put Srivas' mother-in-law out of the room. Sometimes some people, they don't understand. Because in the spiritual life, the first and foremost thing, those who are sincerely striving, first and foremost thing is to completely control your senses. So obviously, of all the sense organs, that attraction to each other, different sex, it is dangerous for the spiritual person. But the others, it is okay. But for a person who has already left his hearth and home and 100% dedicated to God, male or female, they must restrain and control in this way. Now, suppose a diabetic patient, and you keep all very sweets before him, what will you do? When nobody is there, you say, let me try a little. I won't take much, a little. Obvious. So that is why they will never talk about sweets before a diabetic person. So they will always say, no, see, we are also eating this thing, so you also can. Then he will feel sorry. All the people are. So this is the way we must avoid, but some people don't understand that. So one person came, I think last year, and he told, everything is there, but you don't have the ladies over here, all male. I told, said, this is actually a monastery, so naturally, no, this is not. This is a modern society, you should have the ladies also. Ladies, children, they should also be allowed. And they are allowed. When the programs are there, they are coming. No, they should stay here. What is the problem? And then it will be like yours. You are having the ladies, you are having the children, you are living in the home. Why you are coming and visiting us? Now for peace and holiness. And that is the reason. If we also live with the ladies and you also having the children, then you will never visit me. Maybe you will visit and I will also return visit, a social thing. So the holiness, the spirituality, you also understand, it requires restraint. That is the first thing. You have to understand that. No emotion, no question of Western and Eastern system. And we are not hating others. The Sri Ramakrishna is telling, you must love. And then we come to this. Bhavanath. It was not he, but others. Any of this other question. The Sri Ramakrishna is telling, when I attain God, I shall attain everything. Sri Ramakrishna will come to this because most of the people, they misunderstand that when the monks, they leave their hearth and home, they never develop the hatred for the ladies, no. Nuns are also there, they never develop hatred for the males. If they do, they are not in the proper way. Their practices, some wrong things are there. So this is no hatred. But we have to understand how far we should go. Sri Ramakrishna is telling, my condition is just like a baby, just like a son. I consider them as mother. And Sri Ramakrishna is telling about the relationship. When I attain God, I shall attain everything. I renounced gold and silver, saying, rupee is clay and clay is rupee. Gold is clay and clay is gold. He threw that. And now we are searching for that. Because we have so many projects, so we need money. So sometimes some of the Swamis, they will make fun. The Sri Ramakrishna threw it. So now we are searching in the Ganga. He threw that in the Ganga, and when you were bathing, he said, hey, what you are doing? That's bathing. No, you must be searching gold, right? Sri Ramakrishna threw it over here. It made like this only. The fun. The Bhavanaths is smiling. And he is telling that you must be praying to God sincerely. Hazra is sitting in the veranda. Master, he is telling, do you know what Hazra wants? He wants money. His family is in distress. He has debts. He thinks that God will give him money because he devotes himself to japa and meditation. Look at it. God will give him money because he is devoted to God and he is doing the japa and meditation, so God will give him the money. Can't God fulfill a devotee's desire? It's a very pertinent questions, very interesting questions. Surely, I don't want God, I don't want to realize God, but I want to be successful in this life. Is it not possible for me to get the blessings of God? Sure. There are many other instances are there. There was a wrestler in the Dakshinesha. You know, in those days, that was the norm. The rich people used to keep the wrestlers. And the other wrestlers will come, they will have the challenge and they will do that, the wrestling, and they'll be successful. It's the pride of the rich people. Now, this man staying in the the temple and seeing all people are praying and meditating, he also started doing that. He forgot to do the physical practices for a long time. Then suddenly a strong wrestler came from other part and he challenged this man. So naturally it became a prestige issue for the owner. The owner told, hey, you have to fight and you have to defeat him. This is my prestige, you must do. And he became afraid what to do. He came to Sri Ramakrishna, sir, I have not practiced this wrestling for a long time. And I always do the meditation and prayer. So what will happen? Sri Ramakrishna told, you go to mother and tell her, I love you and for that I have forgotten the practices. Now I only meditate on you, pray to you, but my job is to show the strength and to save the face of my owner, of my employer. Oh mother, please help me. This man truly went and prayed. The other one, he was going on practicing the physical exercises, eating at least 50 eggs, like that he was going on. So he was becoming very strong and this man was going on fasting and praying. The time came and ultimately, just in one touch, this temple wrestler won. So these also happen. If you are truly praying to Mother and completely, if you are depending on the Mother, that Sri Ramakrishna is telling. So can't God fulfill a devotee's desire? If it is His sweet will, He will do. But God doesn't take entire responsibility for a devotee unless the devotee is completely intoxicated with ecstatic love for Him. If you are completely depending on God and don't know anything except God, God will take care of you. Everything will happen. This is our Sri Ramakrishna's direct disciple, that is our Brahmananda ji and Turiyananda ji. Both of them, they were practicing meditation on the bank of, in that Ayodhya. And when they were practicing, the food was very meager, we had to go and get the food. He won't get up, this Brahmananda. So Turiyananda ji used to go out and get some food and both of them used to share. One day Brahmananda ji was telling, oh, if I could get luchi and halwa, then it would be very good. And halwa is a kind of sweets. And he was telling, Turiyananda ji, luchi halwa? We don't get even something dry to eat. Now anyway, no problem. So the whole night they meditated. Next day morning, one person came and he was telling, sir, you have to come to my house. So why? Because the Ram Lala, I worship the Sri Ramachandra, Ayodhya, naturally the place of Rama. So I worship, and yesterday night 3 times he appeared in my dream and he said, hey, my children are sitting over there, they are hungry, you must prepare luchi and halwa for them and feed them in the first opportunity. You must come. How do you know that he was telling about us? He said, no, I saw you both over here sitting. It was very easy for me to recognize. So I have come. This always happen, always happen. So this is what Sri Ramakrishna is telling. It is his sweet will. He may. But if you are completely depending on him, he will take care of it. So at a feast, he is giving an example. Only a child whom one takes by the hand and sits at his place. Who does that to older people? If a child is coming to a party, to a place, then there's someone will help him to take to it. But the older person is supposed to take care of himself. Who will go and hold his hand and take there? He won't like it also. So this is the difference. Is a mother to be trifled with? Now he is talking. He is talking about the mother and the son. Before becoming a sannyasi, Chaitanya Deva worked hard to persuade his mother to let him renounce home. So the human life, mother is the only one who gives her everything for the baby. So this is the slowly, the child should imbibe this idea. Great respect for the mother. Any sacrifice for the mother is nothing. And if you like to become a sannyasi and give up this life, you must go and take permission from your mother, and then you should get. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went on crying to his mother. Shankaracharya, of course, he did little trick to persuade his mother. The Shankara's mother was never agreeing for that. He was the only child, that too 8 years old, and his father passed away. The widow mother, and she could not think of parting the son. So naturally she was telling, no, it is not possible. Shankara went on pursuing them one day. Of course, this is a trick he did. He was bathing in the Ganga, in the river, nearby river. If you go to that place in the Kerala, still the river is there. He went, and suddenly all people were shouting, a crocodile, a crocodile. So the crocodile came. In the small river, where from the crocodile came? But anyway, the crocodile. So the mother, she was also very much worried about the Shankara, the small little boy waiting over there. Shankara told mother, I cannot come up. Crocodile is holding me. And now, it is the last opportunity for me to get that sannyasa, atur sannyasa, just before death. I like to take the sannyasa vow so that I am completely free from all bondages and desires of this world. Please permit me to become a monk. Her mother then is naturally what she will do. This is the last wish of the son, and she cannot help. So she said, okay, my son, whatever you like, you can do. Shankara was a great scholar, even in that 8 years old. Immediately he started chanting the sannyasa mantra, and crocodile left him. And crocodile went away. When Shankara came up, mother was happy, but Shankara told mother, I have already taken the vows of sannyasa. I cannot go to the home. Sannyasi are not supposed to. So I will, for a few days, leave in the outside of the home, out of our house, and then I will leave, Shankara. That is the permission. But anyway, he took the permission. Each and every one of us, we take the permission, then only it is possible. So this is the way it goes. Mother Shachi persuaded. When I went to Vrindavan, I also felt the same. Sri Ramakrishna went to Vrindavan, and he was strongly feeling to continue his life over there. Then suddenly, and there was the women's, the saint, lady saint, and she also wanted to serve Sri Ramakrishna there, because within Sri Ramakrishna, Krishna was there. So she could feel that, and she wanted to serve Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna also liked that. But then suddenly he remembered his own mother, and he could not, because Sri Ramakrishna's mother had no one. So obviously she was depending on Sri Ramakrishna. If Sri Ramakrishna stayed back in Vrindavan, who will look after the mother? So he came back. I then remembered my mother. That completely changed everything. She was old. I said to myself, my devotion to God will take to its wings if I have to worry about my mother. I would rather live with her. Then I shall have peace of mind and be able to meditate on God. Then to Narendra he is telling, why don't you say a few words to Hazra about going home? Because Hazra, the Pratap Hazra, his wife requested the Swami Brahmananda, Rakhal Maharaj, please go and tell my son, Pratap Hazra was the name, Pratap, to come at least for once. I like to see, I have become very old, I like to see him. This Pratap Hazra was not a sannyasi. He used to sit outside the room of Sri Ramakrishna all day. And whoever will come to visit Sri Ramakrishna, he will call them and say, where you are going to visit? This man never read anything, doesn't know anything. Come and sit with me. We will have a discussion on the Upanishad and like that. So, this is the Hazra. Sri Ramakrishna is giving this example. Why? He was not sincere. Had he been sincere, I think Sri Ramakrishna would have said completely different. Because whoever is sincerely dedicating himself for the God takes care of his family, mother, father, everything. Everything. The one of our Swami, he's our friend with the same year. So he was the only son. And when he decided after his education, when he decided to become a monk and secretly came to Belur Math, his father passed away. Then naturally his mother came, the boy went back, and everyone thought that it won't be possible for him to come back. Again, he persuaded the mother, I should go, and I should go. Then ultimately mother brought him to the Belur Math and told, I give my son to you people. So the mother became very happy. And then all the other monks of the same age group, they started calling her mother. Whenever she used to visit, there will be at minimum 20. Mother, what you have brought for us? What you have cooked for us? And she brought something for her son. Now there are 20 surrounding. Then she slowly, the motherhood and receiving the love and also giving love to all, that developed. So that is and she was only all alone. She was a rich lady, but she was all alone. Who will take care of the properties? God took care of that. We have in Belur Math, we have the law department. There are many lawyers are there, etc. So naturally, any problem, Belur Math used to help her, sending the lawyers and taking care. So this is the way it goes. Recently, I was so happy when I learned that a provision they have slowly, as the money is coming and the system is changing. Now we have constructed a huge place where the father and the mother of a monk can stay in the last end of their life. So that provision they have developed. Previously the mother could come and stay in Kashi, and because there is a separate, and for the fathers is separate. Then they understood the father and the mother living for so long together, at the end of their life we should not separate them. So they had gave the permission, and now it is there. And I heard it is in Barisha and near Calcutta. It is Calcutta. So it is a little suburb. So there they have developed. So great respect for the mother. Anyone's mother or father visiting, the monks of the Ramakrishna mission will immediately stand up and with folded hands say, please come. That respect, always they will give. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling, and Sri Ramakrishna felt very bad. And in one place he is telling, almost I was crying. It brought me tears in my eyes when I heard Hazrat told that he will go back. Hazrat's son requested, wife requested, mother requested, but Hazrat is sitting over here because little comfort is there. The Dakshineshwar was better than that village. So obviously he was spending time over there and apparently showing that he is a devotee, but in reality it is not. So Sri Ramakrishna never liked it, and he is now finally telling Narendra. Why? Narendra was very close to that man. Both of them they used to sit and a long discussion about whether the Brahman is there or not, God is there or not. So Narendra was 18 years old and Hazrat was very senior, but Narendra used to tell him, my friendo, not completely friendo, he used to say like that, my friendo. So both of them, they were friends. And why don't you say a few words to Hazrat about going home? The other day he said to me, yes, I shall go home and stay there 3 days. But now he has forgotten all about it. He promised to Sri Ramakrishna, the living God. But the poor man, so this is the responsibility. Once you have become a householder, it is your dharma, it is your responsibility, it is your religion to take care of your family and to maintain the family in the best possible way that you can afford. So that is your, see, that's very clear. But if you have accepted the monastic life, then there is no question of thinking about any other thing except God. Now, the people may ask, why do you send appeal for donation, not the money for us. We never do like that. So very close, then we can say, hey, will you please bring this thing for me, that thing for me. They also lovingly bring, that is a separate thing. But give me money so that I will do this and that. No. Why we are doing? For the benefit of the society, for the benefit of the other people. Now we are trying to acquire a property in the Chicago where we are planning the 5 different things will be there: meditation, yoga, home of harmony, school of world religion, all these things. Nothing for me. Maybe that when the project will really start, I won't be here, and maybe somebody else will take up that. This is nothing for me. So one must be very, very clear about it. So it should be like this. So we are not asking money for ourselves, for myself. Of course, Sadhu Seva Fund, there is a separate fund is there. Some people, they will be giving money only for that, for the maintenance of the monks and the nuns. And particularly here we have 4 monks, food, clothing, medicine and many other things are necessary. So where from the money will come? So this, sometimes we always say, do you like to give it to the Sadhu Seva Fund? And if you say no, I like to give it only for the feeding to the devotees or for the puja, whatever he will say, we will maintain that. It's possible. One gentleman told, I can give you some good amount as a donation if you take up the work of feeding the poor people. I don't know, we don't have the mechanism. We can't do it right now. Maybe in future sometime. Thank you for that. He said, no, all other things that you are telling, I am not interested. Only I like to feed the poor people. We will do that. So we will see in the future if it is possible. So here the devotees, we have talked about filthy things, Ramakrishna is telling, sometimes in different questions and answers. And later, Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. So when you discuss about the worldly matters or worldly things, then Sri Ramakrishna is telling, naturally the mind becomes contaminated, polluted, and so now you have to change it. How do you do that? You have to take the name of God, Govinda, Govinda. And he said, Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. Now chant the name of Hari. Let them be a dish of rice. And when you have rice pudding, so that is the best thing. For the Indians, they always take rice pudding. The best thing is the last. There's something, different type of taste, that will be served in the beginning. And rice pudding is the last. Because particularly in Bengal, that is the custom. The sweet should be last. So this is the rice pudding. So let us have the rice pudding. Then Narendra started singing. And that song, completely the Vedantic song. The one who is all pervading, oh, let us meditate on him. That is the song. Thank you, friends. In our next discussion, we will read the accounts of the October 1st, 1884. Please repeat after me. Niranjanam Nityam Anantarupam Bhaktanukampa Drita Vigraham Vai Ishavattaram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om.